plugging my phone in. Okay, evening everyone. Welcome to Wednesday's live crafting session. I hope you've all had a good day. So the last week or so I've popped into a few shops like you do over Christmas, and the build up to Christmas, we're not there yet, and everywhere the colour this year seems to be pink, white and silver. So my inspiration behind tonight's Christmas card is from a lot of the Christmas decorations I'm seeing this year. So hello to everyone who's hopping on. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to use Snowflake Splendour again. Snowflake Wishes is the stamp set, and So Many Snowflake Dies are the two coordinating items. And I'm really impressed with this set actually. For those of you that have watched me the last couple of times, I really wasn't going to buy this, and I really thought, no, that's not for me. But actually, I've got it, I've played with it, I love it. So, tonight I've made a simple Christmas card with pink, silver and grey for you, and white of course. And I will, show you how I put that together. So a few people are asking me a few questions. Louise has put, did I see my card I made from you last time? Yes, I did. You sent that to me and I did comment, so thank you so much for sharing it. I do love to see what you make. And just other people saying hello. So hello everyone. So what I'll do is I'll quickly pause you, flip my camera around to show you my desk, and we can get started. So I hope you're all sitting comfortably. Okay, so here we are. This is my desk. I see I had a good old tidy tonight. So this is a little hint. Right, so this is the card that I'm going to make for you this evening. And I'm really quite impressed with it actually. I'm not really a pink person. My children are. I'm not so much. So I've got here a layer of Blushing Bride as our card base. I've got a lovely layer of white cardstock. And then this here is embossed vellum, and my gosh, it just is beautiful. I think it's so pretty. It almost makes the card, when you put the white underneath it, almost makes it look like fabric. So a few of my quilting friends I'm sure will like this. We've got some silver embossing with the snowflakes, and the sentiment I've used comes from Wrapped in Christmas. One of the card classes I did recently was using some of the sentiments for this, and I really do like it. Love some of the sayings, some of the traditional sayings, and some new ones as well. So let's get started. So this is the embossing folder. It's called Winter Snow. It coordinates with the suite, the Snowflake Splendour suite. So, and I've used vellum. Now our vellum is really thick. It's really good quality. So you get a real deep embossing. And I'm going to cut this down so that it's 14.4 centimetres by 10 centimetres. Now what this is exactly half a centimetre smaller than the card front that we're going to use. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to pop this in our embossing folder. And for me, the embossing folder is the absolute gem in this suite. It's so delicate, and the embossing quality is just wonderful. So I'm just going to roll this through my cut and emboss machine, which is behind me. Yeah, the embossing folder is really, really lovely. So here we have it like this, and this is always my favourite part, is the reveal of embossing. So open it up like this. And it now looks like this. So how pretty is that? That's the debossed side, and that is the embossed side. So I think the embossing folder just is amazing. I give that 10 out of 10. Someone's just put, you like my nail varnish. Thank you very much. It's very kind. I actually did my nails the other day because I watched one of my videos back and was horrified at the state of my nails. So sorry you all had to see that. So we want a couple of layers now, so I'll show you how this changes when you put it on the white. So we're going to move up by 3 inches for our layer underneath. So we're doing 10.3 centimetres by 14.7. So this is just 3 millimetres bigger than our vellum piece. Okay, so here we have the vellum and here we have the white, and when you put them together it just changes the way that embossing looks. It really does make it seem like material. I love that. So let's now add this. Now you'll see on this card I've kept it really quite free. So how I've done that is I'm going to add some glue just to the centre of the back of the vellum, which is where our circle will be over the top. So I'm just going to push that down. And the reason I'm doing this first is I really do want that to stick nicely. Okay, so just going to bring that up again. I'm just obsessed with it. So pretty. Okay. And then we have, so bring the card back in just for a few people that are joining us. How do I come up with such beautiful cards? That's really, really kind, Louise. Thank you very much. I'm a huge fan of Pinterest. I'm a huge fan of our online demonstrator community, where the focus is all about sharing what you love. So everyone shares and I get a lot of inspiration from other demonstrators. So this white is just ever so slightly bigger than the, slightly smaller than the pink layer. Now, the reason I've done that and I haven't gone for a traditional kind of amount is I didn't want there to be too much pink. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a massive pink fan, so I didn't want it to overwhelm the white and take the detail away from this snowflake. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side and we can start building our centerpiece. So for the centre I'm using, I'll bring the stamps in because it's easier to see. I'm using this stamp here, which you might think, oh, that's probably not the one I would have gone for, but I think it is pretty special actually. So I'm going to do some heat embossing, lots of embossing on this card. This is an embossing buddy for those of you that haven't seen one. You can use a tumble dryer sheet if you don't have an embossing buddy. We no longer sell them, unfortunately. I'm just going to wipe it across my cardstock. Now what that does is that just takes the static away from your card so that when you actually add your embossing powder it only sticks to the stamp. So now we're just going to add a couple of little edge embossing. So I've got one there and I'm going to add one up here. Okay. And then now we can take my silver embossing powder, which is just here. Yes, Mum, you will love the embossing folder. It's very special. We're just going to add our powder. Give it a little tap off the excess. So you can see that's really dull and boring now. And to make it all sparkly, we're just going to heat with our heat tool. Silver is really lovely actually, especially for Christmas, silver embossing powder, someone's just said. I'm just adding this like so, really special, and then we'll do the other side. That's it, like so. So that is really sparkly now, really pretty. So that's catching the light. Perfect for Christmas. Okay, now what we can do, I actually don't like that. I've stamped it wrong, so I'm just going to cut out another one. The reason I don't like it, this is how fussy I get, is because the embossing is all down one side. Actually, that's not too bad if I put that way. This is how fussy I can get. So now we have this one here, this sentiment, and this is from Wrapped in Christmas, and it's "Let the joy of the season fill your heart." Sweet. Very, very sweet. So we'll just stamp this up, and I'm stamping with Blushing Bride, so the colour actually matches the cardstock that I've used. Lovely. Let the joy of the season fill your heart. Like it. And then we can add these two together. Someone's just put, "I thought I didn't need this set, but after your inspiration I need it now." Honestly, there's so much inspiration on Pinterest with this, and the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is a group of that Stampin' Up demonstrators have access to, and it's a global site where all the demonstrators worldwide have access to. Okay. So we have "Let the joy of the season fill your heart." Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add our ribbon. Now this ribbon is actually shimmer ribbon, and I believe it is grey granite, but it's got a nice shine to it, so it's perfect for this card. And I'm going to use one of my favourite techniques. I'm just going to pop this on first. Dimensionals. So I'm just popping those two there like so, and then I'm going to add this to the centre. Now the reason I've done it that way is because I can now feed my ribbon through like so, and then I'm going to turn my card over, and this is where you'll need some washi tape, or you will need some double-sided tape to just secure your ribbon in place. So just fold it over, lay on your washi tape or your double-sided, and then I find this is a real good way of using less ribbon and there being less waste. Okay, so now we have that, we can attach it to our card front. Okay, and I am actually just going to add a little dab of glue there. Now Tombow is great, it will dry clear, so you won't actually see this coming through at all, just because for some reason this vellum is lifting up quite a lot. So let's just stick that down. Okay, now we can add our dimensionals. There's lots of depth to this card. I do like to do that with my cards. Okay, and now this you're going to add, just remember that there's not much of a border, which I think is just perfect. So it's starting to come together nicely. And now our bow. We're going to tie a bow with this ribbon still on the roll. She says, let's hope I can tie a bow with this ribbon still on the roll. Like I said, this is a great way of actually saving some of your ribbon and there not being that much waste. Just making sure I'm happy with it, and I am. And this bow is actually a little bit smaller than the one I've used on my card. And now using a glue dot, you're just going to add a glue dot to the other side of the bow, and then you're going to add this like so. Now I never ever in a million years would have been able to tie a bow with that ribbon having not tied that band on first. It would have looked really wonky and not as good. So the last thing to do for our card front, these are epoxy embellishments, and you get 2 sheets in a pack. You get frosted ones, which are very nice, and you also get clear ones, and these are the clear ones. So I'm just adding 3 of these, like so. So that is our finished card front, but obviously we're not going to stop there. We've got our inside to do. So for the inside, I'm going to cut another piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to cut this down so it's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go for 13.4 centimetres by 9 centimetres. The reason I've chosen that measurement is because it's 1.5 centimetres smaller than the inside of the card. So we get a nice mount of pink now, okay? And then we'll add in a little bit more embossing, because why not? So just to repeat, we're going in with our embossing buddy, and then our Versamark, adding in our stamping, like so. And then we have our embossing powder. The reason I've decanted it into these tubs is because it just makes life a lot easier and it's a lot less messy. And I am a really messy crafter, so anything that makes less mess gets my vote. I will prove to you how messy I am. I will show you a picture after this of my desk about 5 minutes before we went live, and you won't believe it. You've got to see it to believe it. Heating now, so that brings that lovely shiny silver through. That's it. So pretty. And then we can stick this in. Okay, so there we have our finished card tonight with pink, silver and white, as inspired by all the Christmas decorations that are appearing in the shops this year. So we've got a lovely bit of embossing inside. I've used that embossing folder on vellum and added it over white, and it really does make it look like material, really luxurious. And then we've got some heat embossing with silver. Love a bit of shimmer. We've got some of the grey granite sparkle shimmer ribbon. Our sentiment comes from Wrapped in Christmas, and then inside we've got a little extra detail. So that's it for me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed my cards this evening. If anyone has any questions about any of the techniques or products I've used, feel free to drop me a message. I'll be live here on Sunday evening at 8:30 is my next live. No idea what I'm doing yet. You may see some more snowflake wishes, you may see something different. Who knows? So thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your evening. I'll take a moment after this to reply to all the comments, and that's it from me. So thank you guys. Have a lovely evening. Take care now. Bye.